Have you ever noticed how people ignore you, not because you did something wrong, but because something about you changed? They don't confront you. They don't explain. They simply stop responding. Messages get seen but not replied to. Your presence feels invisible. Your words suddenly carry less weight. And the most painful part? You don't know why. This silence makes you question your worth, your value, your place in the world. But here's the truth most people never tell you. Being ignored is rarely personal. It is psychological, and often philosophical. Let's understand why. People don't ignore you, they ignore what you represent. Human beings are not offended by people, they're offended by mirrors. When someone ignores you, it's often because your presence reminds them of something uncomfortable, their lack of growth, their insecurity, their failure to change. You represent effort they didn't make, courage they didn't choose, discipline they avoided. Ignoring you becomes easier than confronting themselves. Philosophically, this is called avoidance of self-awareness. It's not hatred, it's protection. Attention follows value, not emotions. Psychologically, attention is a resource. People give it where they feel reward, status, comfort, or benefit. When people ignore you, it doesn't mean you lack value. It means your value no longer feeds their emotional needs. You stopped entertaining them. You stopped agreeing blindly. You stopped being available on demand. And when emotional supply ends, attention disappears. This is not cruelty. This is conditioning. Familiarity reduces importance. One of the most dangerous psychological truths is this: the more accessible you are, the less interesting you become. When people know you'll always be there, they delay replies. They take your presence for granted. They assume your patience is unlimited. Philosophy teaches us this: what is always available is never respected. Scarcity creates value. Distance creates curiosity. Not everyone ignores you because you're irrelevant. Some ignore you because you're too predictable. Growth makes people uncomfortable. When you evolve, you disrupt invisible contracts. Contracts like, we'll stay the same forever. You won't outgrow me. You won't make me feel small. But growth breaks these agreements. Psychologically, people prefer familiar roles: the funny one, the quiet one, the dependent one. When you change, they don't know where to place you anymore. Ignoring you becomes a way to avoid redefining the relationship. Silence is a form of power. Here's a hard philosophical truth: ignoring is not weakness, it's often dominance. People ignore to reassert control, to punish without confrontation, to feel superior. This is passive power. But here's the irony: people who use silence as power are afraid of open conversation. They lack emotional courage. Their silence is loud, but hollow. Respect follows uncontrollable. The more you explain yourself, the less seriously you're taken. Psychology calls this over-justification. When you chase responses, demand clarity, seek validation, you reduce your perceived status. People don't ignore confident silence. They ignore desperation. Respect grows where mystery lives. Sometimes you're ignored because you're ahead. Philosophy reminds us those who walk faster often walk alone. When your mindset no longer matches the room, your voice stops resonating there, not because it's wrong, but because it's early. People ignore ideas they're not ready to understand. What to do when people ignore you? Don't react emotionally. Reaction feeds their control. Don't explain yourself. Clarity comes from consistency, not words. Don't shrink to fit spaces that no longer grow you. Instead, pull your energy back. Build your life quietly. Let your absence speak. Silence is not always loss. Sometimes it's graduation. Final truth. People ignoring you is not the end of your value. It is a signal that you've changed, you've grown, or you've stopped feeding unhealthy dynamics. Philosophically, this is freedom, because when people stop noticing you, you're finally free to become who you were meant to be. Not everyone who loses access to you deserves an explanation. Some deserve distance, and some deserve to miss you. If this spoke to you, don't ignore yourself. Like the video, subscribe, and stay aware, because understanding people is the first step to mastering life.